Hey there, fellow visionaries. Welcome to another episode of Boardroom Visionaries. I'm your host, Alex Morgan, and I'm so excited to have you join me today as we dive into the power of long-term thinking and strategic vision. In today's episode, we'll explore the benefits of taking a step back and focusing on the big picture, and how embracing long-term thinking can elevate your business to new heights. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's unlock the secrets of strategic vision together. All right, let's take a moment to think about the challenges we're facing today. It's no secret that we're dealing with a rapidly changing market, fierce competition, and ever-evolving consumer preferences. It can feel like we're constantly putting out fires and struggling to keep up with the demands of the present. But what if we shift our focus to the opportunities that lie ahead? By taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, we can identify potential growth areas, new emerging markets, and innovative ways to meet the needs of tomorrow's consumers. Embracing a strategic vision that prioritizes long-term thinking allows us to navigate current challenges with an eye towards building a sustainable future. So what can we do to leverage the power of long-term thinking? It might involve reevaluating our product development strategies, investing in new technologies, or even exploring partnerships that position us for success in the long run. By making this shift in mindset, we can turn today's challenges into tomorrow's opportunities, paving the way for sustained growth and resilience in the face of an ever-changing landscape. So let's break down this whole idea of long-term thinking. Basically, it's about looking beyond the immediate goals and planning for the future. It's like playing chess instead of checkers. You're thinking several moves ahead. In business, this means considering the long-term impact of your actions rather than just focusing on short-term gains. It's all about making decisions today that will set you up for success down the road. This kind of strategic vision is what separates the big players from the small fries. So how can you apply long-term thinking to your own life and business? Let's dive into that next. So, what are OKRs, and how do they fit into the bigger picture of strategic vision? Well, OKR stands for Objectives and Key Results, and they're a powerful tool for aligning your team's goals with the long-term vision of your organization. OKRs are all about setting ambitious yet achievable objectives, and then defining measurable key results that will indicate progress toward those objectives. This approach encourages teams to think big and focus on outcomes rather than just ticking off a list of tasks. By aligning individual and team OKRs with the broader strategic vision of the company, you ensure that everyone is working toward the same overall goals. This alignment helps to create a sense of purpose and direction while also fostering collaboration and accountability across the organization. When OKRs are implemented effectively, they become the bridge that connects the day-to-day efforts of your team with the long-term objectives of your organization. It's a way of ensuring that everyone's work is contributing to the bigger picture, and that's a powerful driver for success. In today's ever-changing world, it's more important than ever for businesses to be prepared for multiple futures. This means thinking ahead and considering various potential scenarios that could impact their industry, market, or operations. Scenario planning is a strategic tool that can help businesses navigate uncertainty and make informed decisions. By identifying and preparing for a range of possible outcomes, companies can position themselves for success regardless of what the future holds. Picture this. A company that only plans for a single future is essentially gambling on that particular outcome. If things don't go as anticipated, they may find themselves caught off guard and struggling to adapt. On the other hand, a company that engages in scenario planning is proactively building resilience. They're considering different possibilities and formulating strategies to address each one, giving themselves a better chance of thriving in any scenario. Consider the current global supply chain challenges. Companies that had conducted robust scenario planning beforehand were better equipped to pivot when disruption hit. They had already thought through potential risks and developed contingency plans, which put them in a much stronger position to weather the storm. By embracing scenario planning, businesses can foster a culture of adaptability and preparedness. Rather than being blindsided by change, they can approach the future with confidence, knowing they've considered a range of possibilities and are ready to navigate whatever comes their way. It's all about being proactive, strategic, and forward-thinking, and that's a recipe for long-term success. What sets successful companies apart from the rest? It's all about creating uncontested market space. Instead of competing in a crowded red ocean, they carve out a blue ocean of opportunity where they can thrive without direct competition. Imagine a world where you don't have to fight tooth and nail for every customer, where you can offer something truly unique and valuable without the constant pressure to undercut your rivals. That's the power of blue ocean strategy. By focusing on innovation and creating new demand, companies can break free from the cutthroat competition in the red ocean and chart their own course in the market. This allows them to set their own pricing, attract new customers, and ultimately enjoy sustained success. It's all about thinking beyond the existing market boundaries and redefining the rules of the game. To achieve this, companies need to shift their focus from outperforming rivals to making the competition irrelevant. This requires a deep understanding of what customers truly value and delivering it in a way that's unique and difficult to replicate. By unlocking new value for both buyers and the company itself, businesses can create a clear blue ocean where they can prosper for the long term. So, if you're looking to take your business to the next level, consider how you can implement blue ocean strategy and chart your own course to success. It's all about creating uncontested market space and reaping the rewards of thinking long term. Now let's talk about some real success stories to illustrate the power of long-term thinking. Take Amazon, for example. Despite facing criticism and skepticism in its early years, the company stayed true to its long-term vision of becoming the world's most customer-centric company. This meant making significant upfront investments in infrastructure and technology, even if it meant sacrificing short-term profits. Fast forward to today, and Amazon has redefined the retail landscape and is a leader in cloud computing, entertainment, and artificial intelligence. Then there's Apple, a company that has consistently demonstrated the value of long-term thinking. From the early days of the iPod to the groundbreaking iPhone and beyond, Apple's commitment to innovation and quality has set it apart in the tech industry. By focusing on the long game, Apple has been able to weather challenges and adapt to changing market conditions while staying true to its core values. And let's not forget about Tesla, a company that has revolutionized the automotive industry by betting on the future of electric vehicles and sustainable energy. Despite facing numerous hurdles, including production challenges and skepticism from traditional automakers, Tesla's long-term vision has propelled it to the forefront of the electric vehicle market and positioned it as a major player in the transition to renewable energy. These success stories clearly demonstrate the benefits of strategic vision and long-term thinking. By staying focused on their ultimate goals and not getting swayed by short-term pressures, these companies have been able to achieve remarkable success and make a lasting impact on their respective industries. Now, it's important to talk about some common pitfalls to avoid when it comes to long-term strategic planning. First off, one big mistake is being too rigid in your approach. Things change, right? So it's important to be adaptable and nimble in your strategy. Another pitfall is not involving key stakeholders in the planning process. You want to make sure everyone is on the same page and invested in the long-term vision. And finally, don't get caught up in short-term wins at the expense of long-term goals. It's all about balance, folks. So, keep these pitfalls in mind as you map out your long-term strategic vision. So, you're a business leader with a passion for long-term success, right? Well, today, I've got some actionable tips that can help you steer your ship in the right direction. First off, let's talk about setting clear and measurable long-term goals. It's not enough to just have a vague vision of where you want to be in 10 years. You need to break it down into manageable chunks and track your progress along the way. Next, don't be afraid to take calculated risks. Long-term thinking often means making bold moves that might not pay off immediately, but could have a big impact down the road. Of course, you'll want to do your homework and weigh the pros and cons, but sometimes you've got to trust your gut and go for it. Another key tip is to cultivate a culture of innovation within your organization. Encourage your team to think outside the box, experiment, and embrace change. It's this forward-thinking mindset that can keep your business relevant and resilient in the long run. And lastly, never underestimate the power of building strong relationships, both with your customers and within your industry. Networking and fostering loyalty can pay dividends in the long term, so make sure you're investing time and effort into nurturing those connections. So there you have it, some practical advice to help you put your strategic vision into action. Keep thinking ahead and making shrewd decisions, and you'll be on your way to long-term success. All right, our next question comes from Sam in New York. Sam asks, how can I make sure that I'm not getting lost in the day-to-day tasks and really focusing on the long-term vision for my business? That's a great question, Sam. It's all too easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday operations and lose sight of the bigger picture. One strategy that can help is to set aside dedicated time each week to zoom out and assess your progress towards your long-term goals. This could be a weekly strategy meeting with your team, or even just a couple of hours of uninterrupted time for deep thinking and planning. By creating this regular habit, you can ensure that you're always keeping your eye on the prize, so to speak. Next up, we have a comment from Lisa in California. Lisa shares, I've found that when I focus on the long-term vision for my personal life, it trickles down into my business decisions as well. It's like having a compass to guide me through both professional and personal challenges. That's a wonderful insight, Lisa. It really goes to show that having a strong strategic vision isn't just beneficial for business, but it can also have a positive impact on our overall well-being and fulfillment. Thanks for sharing that perspective with us. Our last question today comes from Max in Texas. Max wonders, what are some red flags that indicate I might be too focused on the short term and neglecting the long term? That's a great question, Max. One red flag to watch out for is if you find yourself constantly putting out fires and dealing with last-minute emergencies. This can be a sign that you're not allocating enough resources towards proactive long-term planning. Additionally, if you start to feel like you're stuck in a cycle of repetitive, reactive tasks without making progress towards larger strategic goals, it might be time to reevaluate your priorities and make sure that you're giving due attention to the big picture. So keep those listener questions and insights coming, folks. It's always great to hear from our audience and help each other navigate the waters of long-term thinking in business and in life. And that wraps up our discussion on the power of long-term thinking and strategic vision. Remember, in a world of instant gratification, taking a step back and focusing on the long term can truly set your business and your personal goals up for success. We hope this episode has given you some valuable insights and inspired you to incorporate long-term thinking into your decision-making process. As always, we We love hearing from our listeners. So reach out to us on social media to share your thoughts on this topic or suggest future episode ideas. Until next time, remember that the key to success often lies in having a strategic vision and thinking long term. Thanks for tuning in.